Hey guys, we're back here with another video. Let's show y'all something me and Noah's been working on here. Just a little 12 bolt we're building for a 55 gasser. What we're dealing with today, and with my disclaimer, I'm not a professional at anything. I'm just I do stuff on my own though. I just try to learn to do it over time. And you probably already seen our video about putting the spring perches on. This one is about what I've figured out setting one up. I used to set these up and just go off what was written on the pinion and then throw a little grease on the ring gear and hope it was all right. But I tried to do better this time, and I think we got there. I just did a little video about the pinion spacer, so it's in here too. But I kind of got ahead of myself before we made a video, but I'll just go over the high points, I guess. We started with a Chevy 12 bolt housing to use in their 12 bolt Chevy and car. And so I had gotten this gear set from Mike and Adam Lowhorn and a setup kit, and I had this new this is a new Eaton 12 bolt posi, and this is 456 gear. This is just for our street car. And we run a big tire, 29.5-inch tall tire, so 456 works pretty good. So I decided to try to set this thing up and do it correctly so it wouldn't make noise and everything. So where we started at, I'm trying to figure out where to start. Okay, so you want to start with your pinion. And I got ahead of myself. There's a number on aftermarket pinions that's etched into the end of the pinion. And I tried to go off of that. I always thought that number was golden, but it ended up being 10 thousandths off. I ended up having 45 thousandths of shim in it, and my pattern was all over the place, and I got my friend Ethan there, Samuels, to help me. And so we pulled 10 thousandths out of the pinion shim pack, and that got my pattern in a lot better shape. And then I adjusted the backlash to bring it down. And what you're shooting for, from what I've read, is like here, you want, on a competition, you want the pattern towards the bottom 1/3 of the tooth and in the center. You'll know when you get your pinion depth right, because you'll have a pretty consistent pattern on both sides towards the middle of the gear. Now this paint's gotten thick on me, so it really don't look that great now, but it was smearing. I just put it on here as an example. So after you get your pinion depth sitting there, and then you adjust your backlash, and you want 7 to 10 thousandths in your backlash. And your backlash, from what I understand, is when you get them both centered, the backlash will move the pattern up and down. I can't remember which is which, but it moves it up and down. Now I use the super shims from in the side. This is how you set your backlash. I think I got 475 total in this thing, and I think it's around 225 on this side and around 250 on this side. You want these things where you want to tap them in with a hammer. You don't want to have to drive them in there like wailing on them, but you want some good preload on the on your center section, your unit in the middle, your third member. You can see where I had a little screwdriver tapping them in there. And let me go back to when you're setting up your ring and pinion. What I did was this. I took an old pinion bearing and ground it out and made it big enough where it would slide over the pinion. So that way I could slide this thing on and off several different times to change my shims. Then when I got my shim pack right, then I went ahead and pressed it on. When I was confident with it, I pressed the new bearing on with my shim pack, because you don't want to have to press this thing on and off and on and off while you're messing with it, because you might do that several times. So that's one thing we did. And then this is just how you set your backlash. So if you got you know, 225 over here and 500 over here, then you will swap these shims. Once you get your total, you'll swap them back and forth. So you can move 5,000ths from here to here to bring it this way. If you're coming this way, you'll take 5,000ths from here to here, you know, and then you want to put your dial indicator, you know, on a tooth like this. You want to put it like that. I don't know if you can see backlash. This one's set at 7,000. It's hard to do with one hand. So you want to put it on a tooth like that. Try to be near 90 degrees to it. And then, I'm not for sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. So that's what you're shooting for. It's right on 7,000, 6.5, 7,000ths. So that's what you want to see. You don't, what I understand, 10's the max. You don't want to go over 10, but you really don't want to be below, I think, 7 either. I think it's 6 to 10, if I remember right, 6 to 10. So I was happy with 7. 7,000ths is a good number. Like I said, I'm no pro at this. I kind of explained I put a solid pinion spacer in it, and I kind of explained that in the other video. You want your pinion preload 16 to 20 inch-pounds, I think, which the only way to do that is, no, that I know of. I'm sure there's other ways to say I'm no pro, but I just got this little beam. I think I got this at AutoZone. Just a little beam torque wrench with a bunch of adapters on it to get up to the pinion that size. So this is what I found by doing it, and I'm pretty happy with the way it come out. So, you know, it might fly apart, I don't know, but this is just the things that I found while I was doing this. It's not a very complete video, but maybe gives the high points of it, or gives somebody a starting point. I would probably start with the pinion shims about, maybe, I think Ethan told me 32, probably 30 to 35 in a 12-bolt Chevy carver in. And I would say the shims probably 475 to start with. You know, overall, the total, you know, and you split it in half, whatever, and then start moving them around to get your backlash in it. But it's just a bunch of trial and error. I don't think it's black magic or rocket science. I think it's a bunch of trial and error. And I might be talking out my butt too, but I did have to struggle with it some, you know, and it got frustrating and aggravating. But I'm sure that every one I do from now on will be easier. So that's about my only tips. If you have any questions that I might be able to answer, then just put them in the comments or whatever, and I'll try to get to them. But we're gonna put this thing in. As far as everything I see that I'm supposed to do, this thing should be dead on the money. So we'll see. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks.